Welcome to Moor Insights and Strategy Game Time Tech Podcast. I'm Melody Brue with Moor Insights and Strategy, and I'm with my co-host and partner in our sports technology vertical, Robert Kramer. We are so excited to have Monica Ellingson, partner with IBM Consulting and practice lead of the Sports and Entertainment Group at IBM, who is live from Augusta National at the 88th Masters Tournament. Hi, Monica. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Hi, Monica.
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, we're jealous that you're there, but I know you've got lots of work to do while you're there.
Yes.
So I find this really interesting. The Masters is so known for tradition, but they are really embracing so much cutting edge technology. And you have a long history with the Masters. What you want to talk a little bit about IBM's history with Augusta National and the Masters before we get into kind of what you're doing with AI and with this particular tournament?
Sure. So IBM has worked with Augusta National and the Masters Golf Tournament for over 25 years. We are the technology partner for the Masters Golf Tournament, and we work with Augusta National year round, not only for tournament delivery, but also for ticketing and other IT operations. So we are really joined at the hip. So for 25 years, we worked together. I mean, starting out with the first website back in 1996. And here we are on site today. We are setting up for the 2024 Masters Tournament, and we have a lot of things that we plan to unveil. And one of the things I wanted to point out is you mentioned about just the tradition and history behind Augusta National, and that's something that everyone focuses on when they think about the Masters brand. But another part of their mission as an organization is to be the first in sports, the best of their kind, not only in their
hmm
customer service and their on-site patron experience, but everything that we deliver in terms of the digital experience too. And so we're always working to basically convey the beauty of Augusta National, the inherent just nature and support to support their brand, but also, what are the new ways that we can, bring the game of golf, bring the experience of the
hmm
Masters to the digital fan.
And so with those new ways, you're using AI to impact the fan experience. Those are the new announcements. Let's talk about that.
That's right. We have actually a pretty long history of using AI here at the Masters. It's starting back, almost 8 years ago. But for this year, we're continuing to build upon the offerings that we have in the generative AI space, using large language models and watsonx. And we have two major features that we plan to bring to the digital fan experience this year. One is called Whole Insights, which is
hmm
generated by AI using watsonx. And basically, it allows fans within the 3D track experience within the Masters digital platforms, which tracks every single shot as it comes in live and traces it within a 3D model of the course. And what we are doing is using AI to lay on top of that insights into how the course not only plays historically, but how it is playing that day. So we're folding in a very large collection of data from player performance, course performance, more than 8 years of data, 22,000 shots per year on average, plus all of the statistics associated with each individual shot, the scores, et cetera. So that's a massive amount of data. And without AI, we wouldn't be able to actually generate all of these insights. And the goal here is really, it's very difficult to get a ticket to come here, let alone play this course. So, it's really just to pull off some of the layers and the mystique about the course, and help people understand, what's the likelihood of making par or birdie from this particular location. How is the course playing today? Is this the most favorable hole of the day, or is it the most difficult? And so that's Whole Insights is one of the key features that we're rolling out this year.
and you're talking about the whole insights, and it's all a data-driven world today, right? And Oh, by the way, I have my green on because it's apropos for this conversation. But
Right,
When
you
right.
know, you just so
when you were saying
you
it's
just
hard to
talk.
get into, Robert has tried, believe me.
I've tried to get into the Masters, but we'll get there one day. So Whole Insights is a really cool feature, and the data that you're using is a part of that, right? So how does this data actually influence the fans' appreciation for these nuances of each hole? Because you talked about how they could see the historical components of it, how they could see the what the shot's going to do based on the weather, but do the fans want to see that? Do they like that? Does this data, is it accurate? Is it doing something different to the fans what they're going to experience this year?
Definitely. And, one of the things that we are always looking to do is, to provide our fans, the digital fan experiences, fans expect a personalized experience now. They expect
Mm-hmm.
to have, as much data as they can get their hands on. And, we're able, through AI and also just, using, garage methodology and just our overall collaborative style in working with Augusta National, we're able to, take those insights and chunk them out into small bits so that, it doesn't interfere with your experience. You can turn them off, you can turn them on, you can go deeper,
Mm-hmm.
or you can keep it at a higher level, because we're always very focused on, different types of fans. There's a casual fan who, maybe just really wants to check in once in a while, what's happening with Tiger today or what have you. But then there are this whole nother level of avid fans. And this particular population is growing and growing. And within that audience cluster, you have, people who play golf, who want to understand, how do I become a better golfer? How would I play the Masters? And if they're coming on site, where do they want to go? What's the most difficult hole? And we're always focused on, providing additional content to all different types of fans to enhance their experience.
Yeah, that's really cool. And there's a really strong component with watsonx and managing the life cycle of these AI models, right? So the features like the AI narration and the whole insights they come to life, offering a kind of a different perspective, a deeper one into the game. So IBM's driving enhanced customer care experiences and these data-driven decisions across all these industries. So what's a customer use case that showcases this that's not really on public stage right now that you can kind of give us some preview to?
Sure. Well, you mentioned about AI narration, and one of the things I want to mention about that is, this a large part of our generative AI use cases have been focused on enabling the next generation of personalization. And the only way you can really enable that is to create the amount of content that every variation of fan actually would need to have a truly personalized experience. And so, I think that in terms of thinking about other industries outside of sports where you can see this coming to life. So let's think about
Mm-hmm.
the retail industry. I don't know if you've ever heard about personal shoppers or what have you. Imagine
Of course.
where you could have a personalized shopper who could literally not only recommend products. So we've all seen in all of our online shopping experiences, oh well, this is a recommended for you based on your previous purchasing, but to actually bubble that up to the point where it is completely personalized to you. It is, you could, add additional criteria based not only on your past purchases, but on projections of what you might be interested in. And then, you can even add a conversational component onto it.
Mm,
And that's really where Gen AI comes into play, is to generate all of this different variations of content to really make it personal to you.
And that
great.
variation of content can be difficult, especially when you're talking about, nuances of a complicated game like golf. And also, I know you're doing translation to Spanish this year. When you're dealing with, there's so many nuances and there's so many kind of like this, there's sort of a golf language, it's not just a clear translation. So what are some of the challenges in developing that AI and that AI driven analysis that was specific for golf?
Well, I do want to talk a little bit about the AI narration, and I think that's probably one of the better ways to answer your question. And so, for example, in 2023, we rolled out the first, one of the first generative AI AI narration. So basically, here at the Masters, we have a solution called the Every Shot solution, which captures a single shot highlight, video highlight for every single player, every hole, every round, every shot at the Masters. And that usually ends up being about 22,000 shots per year. And we have over the years that solution was first rolled out in 2019, and then we've continued to evolve that by repackaging that content into new collections of highlights that are generated by AI. My Group, which is a personalized experience, allowing you to repackage all of those shots into a playlist that's personalized to you. And then in 2023, we added upon that you can actually have your own commentator. So all of those 22,000 shots in the past had been just natural sound, because it would have been absolutely impossible for any human team to commentate at the speed and the number of videos that we had. So narration was added in English. Now for this year, we have expanded that, and we are now generating commentary or narration for those 22,000 clips. And this happens within seconds. So the club hits the ball. All right, we capture that shot, and within minutes, it's appearing within the digital platforms with commentary, with narration laid on top of it. So last year we did it for English. This year we're also including Spanish. And this isn't just a simple translation. We're not taking that English commentary and folding it into a translation service. That wouldn't be, that's been around for a really long time. We're actually auto-generating through AI the Spanish narration, and we're doing this in real time. So that as you are watching your My Group experience, for example, your personalized live stream within the Masters digital platforms, you can select English narration, you can select Spanish narration. You can also, as part of this, we're generating closed captions as well. So you can listen and read and watch the Masters in the way that is personalized to you. So one of the things I want to say about that whole process, because you mentioned about training and how do you go about doing this, that as part of this, we're using large language models in watsonx, but think about, we have 100 players here at the Masters, and they're from all over the world. So even just their names, if you think about narrating sports and you have the player's name, we had to teach the model how to say every individual player's name. We had to teach the model about the jargon of golf, and then the unique language about Augusta National, the way Augusta National talks about golf. And all of that had to be taught in order to enable the AI narration at the Masters.
That's so specialized.
It's fantastic. Does it tell you how fast the greens are? It's kind of a joke. Anyway, so where, as a fan, myself and Mel and everybody listening in, where are all the places that us and other fans can experience these great technologies from IBM for the Masters? Because we're very interested in seeing the action and watching it and taking advantage of this.
Well, you can watch it and follow in many, many different ways. So our platforms include responsive web, so you can follow it on your browser, on your phone, on mobile web. You can also download the app from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. You can follow on Apple TV, so we have a brand new redesigned Apple TV app this year, as well as on your Apple Watch and your Android Wear platforms will be supported this year as well.
And there's a fantasy app as well?
Yes. So as part of the digital platforms, there's a fantasy experience, and everybody should go on and create their roster right now, because once play starts on Thursday next week, then the game is on at that point. So everybody get out there and create your fantasy roster, and that's always a good time for everybody.
That's great. We'll definitely link those in all of those places that you can find it in the show notes.
Well, this has been great. Is there anything else you want to tell the audience while we're here before we conclude?
Well, I hope everybody is as big of a Masters fan as I am, and I hope you really, really enjoy this year's tournament. I think it's going to be fantastic. So far, the weather here has been wonderful, and please download our apps and enjoy the Masters digital experiences. Thank you so much for everything here.
Well, thank you so much. And we are very excited to watch from afar, to take advantage of the apps and see what watsonx can do in action. So thank you very much, IBM, and yourself, Monica, for attending Game Time Tech live at the Masters. And we'll look forward to many future times with IBM coming up in their how you sponsor different sports activities like the US Open and Wimbledon, and then join us for other occasions as we have other customers lined up. So goodbye for now, and looking forward to watching the Masters next week.
Thank you so much for having me.